What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So, Cancer, hope you had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed that moon in Leo. But now the moon is in Virgo. And with the moon being in Virgo, this is it's a very organized kind of energy. If you have anything that requires you to come up with any sort of like details, or if you've been meaning to adjust any sort of like dietary things or focus on any sort of like health things, Cancer, Virgo energy is great for that. It's a really, they're ruled by Mercury along with Gemini, and so they also have a very intelligent mind. So this may be something where you notice that your mind's kind of working a little bit more than normal. So work with that, Cancer. Get your stuff organized. Maybe do some. Hey, it's spring. Do a little spring cleaning, a little spring organizing. Maybe if the garage needs to be touched up, however that's looking, Cancer, work with that Virgo energy. And also, the moon is still in a waxing gibbous phase. And with the waxing gibbous phase, this is about clarifying your direction and just your direction and your intention. Because we're getting towards that final stages here. The full moon's on Thursday, Cancer. And so, what ways can we kind of make any adjustments or getting sort of like tweaks or anything? Just making sure that whatever we started for this cycle, Cancer, that we see it to completion here. Make it a part of your routine here, Cancer, with that Virgo energy. And then lastly, look at that Libra energy as well. I love it, Cancer. And then lastly, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links. And for you, Cancer, the decks that I use on this deck, the tarot decks, these are exclusive for you. So if you want the ones that are in this description box they're Chariot Friends exclusives. And then the other ones on my other channel, those are for that channel. So look at you. But all of those links are down in the description box as well. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Cancer. But look at you. You got the 3 of Libra, which is the Cabin card. And this is kind of nice, Cancer, because the Cabin card is a card of lonely, confined, detached, remote, secluded, go within, insulate, disengage, close off, kept apart, quarantine, island, segregate, separated, divide, disconnected, and sequestered. Which is very interesting energy, Cancer, considering that Libra deals with more kind of like partnerships and kind of like unions and things of that nature. But I feel like with this popping up, that maybe for some of us, maybe whenever you get some time, Cancer, I feel like making sure that you just get a little moment, just have a little you time, and just kind of disconnect and just gather your thoughts. Because I mentioned this with how our energy is, we really can feel all the energy that's going around us, from whether if you're on the subway to if you're on a bus, or even feeling the energies through, like if you're stuck in like traffic, Cancer, and that can always be intense and how fun that can be sometimes. But from work, family, all of that. So sometimes it's just like, and it's not like you have to just like, like everyone like get out, but just like have like a space for you, maybe like make like a room for you or something that you can just go be zen for a minute, to do whatever that looks like, maybe go read, maybe listen to some music, maybe just whatever brings you to that Zen place, Cancer. I feel like make yourself a cabin. That, or if you do have some time, maybe if you can have like a getaway or something along those lines, maybe go for a camping trip or get like a what do they call those? Uh, like a glamcation. I forgot what those are called, like where you get like the RV or something along those lines. But just maybe getting out in some nature, Cancer, maybe getting by some water, however that's looking. Maybe start yourself well, yeah, I think it's still decent enough weather to maybe get a fire started, Cancer. Why not? But yeah, let's see how we can work with this energy, Cancer. I'm with that. Oh. I'm with that. And the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is with it too. That's cool. So Cancer, I feel like that maybe if we've been, just with how that Hanged Man popped up, if we've just been maybe in a place where we've been, and then 6 of stars. Okay. So if we've been in a place, Cancer, where we've been kind of like just giving ourselves quite a bit, whether that be to work, whether that be to others, however that's looking, I feel like the Hanged Man popping up here, for some of us, is just really kind of taking some time and, again, just kind of being with you. Allow yourself to just kind of find your North Star again, find that Queen of Cups area, that Zen Cancer place, your energy. And I tell you, Cancer, when you do that, just kind of like reset every now and again. It is nice that you come back refreshed, rejuvenated, and then able to, be the nurturer that you are, Cancer. But I do feel like with the 6 of Pentacles, it's taking that little time and investing a little bit in yourself, because it's more than just what we give and take to each other. We got to see how we're giving to ourselves as well, because we're only going to get back what we give here. So give that a little, a little love, a little quiet, a little relaxation, whatever that looks like for you. But I feel like that's definitely going to be something that's gonna pay off for you in the long run, Cancer. More? Okay, Cancer, we got the Page of Wands here. And you know what? I like that, because the Page of Wands for me is a really creative type of energy. This gives me, when I think, this is like when you're get on your little getaway here, when you're kind of sequestered in your safe space, Cancer. This gives me the energy of like indulging in some kind of hobby, whether that be maybe if you like working on cars, maybe, maybe plugging in some music, maybe doing some stuff in the garage, or maybe if you have like an art studio or a place to paint, or a little space to play music, or if you want to go like maybe like rent out a studio or like a little practice room to go play, or however that looks, Cancer. I feel like the Page of Wands really asks us to kind of get in touch with like the page, just all the pages, that's that like kind of like inner child energy. And when you think of fire, it's that energy that inspires us and brings us vitality. So doing those things that get you geeked up, Cancer, and get you in just a creative space. Because when you get in touch with that too, Cancer, that helps you get more in touch with your intuition. You kind of get lost in your creative mind and just like discover who you are again. And it's a beautiful thing that could happen in this, whatever this is that you're getting ready to do, Cancer. So I feel like schedule a day, make a space, anything along those lines. Really, if you can make a space somewhere in wherever you're staying, apartment, home, whatever this is looking like, just something just for you, you're like your crab shell, if you will, Cancer. Because I feel like, the nice thing about our energy, we can pretty much be at home wherever it is that wherever it is that we're at. That's the perks of being the crab. But, we got to tend to that and making sure that we've checked in with ourselves and doing that introspective work, Cancer. More? All right, Cancer, let's see what are some challenges with maybe working with this energy. Let's see what else we got. Cancer. Oh, look at that. We got Knight of Wands. We're heating up, Cancer. Nine of Wands. Oh, and then we got the Death card in reverse here. Okay, so Cancer. With this energy popping up here, you know, I almost feel like that maybe for some of us, maybe if you've been if we've been like maybe like stressed with work maybe, or just kind of maybe just stressed in general, because the Knight of Wands energy that's kind of coming up for me is like we've been kind of just like powering through for a while and maybe like ignoring some signs like, you know, hey, like we're kind of running on E here, or that like, hey, you know, at this rate, you know, this we can't quite function like this all the time. We got to take some time to just like to pause and to breathe here. So if we've been feeling like maybe things have been, again, like maybe busy at work possibly, or get busy at home, finding some time to just like, again, just like disengage for a second and just breathe. Because where Cancer, I know that we can handle it for a while, you know, we can crank and crank and crank, but we want to be mindful of doing that to our detriment. You know, it's because at what point is that going to help anyone? You know, if you run yourself to the ground and then you have to take like a longer recovery time, as opposed to, you know, taking those designated breaks, you know, paying attention to the body when it's just like, hey, I'm exhausted, you know, or like, hey, you know, this has been whatever signals you may be getting, like being maybe kind of stiff, or, you know, whatever that's looking like, paying attention to that, Cancer, because those signals are trying to help you to use your energy more efficiently. You know, those signals is just like, hey, we don't have to work so hard, or we don't have to do it like, you know, quite like this. You know, there's a way that we can make this thing, like we can, I don't want to put this, it's like we can work with the energies, Cancer, you know, it's just a more mindful way, I feel like, just with the Nine of Wands. You know, if this is something that we may be noticing, you know, that you've just been kind of, energy reserves have been kind of low. Just being mindful of that, and, you know, being okay to just like take some breaks for you. It's fine to take charge and recover. You know, we don't have to always be like going all the time, okay? But let's see, I also feel like with this Death card here, Cancer, there may be some, just kind of thinking with this Hanged Man Death card in reverse here, there may be for some others that maybe we're in a situation where I feel like something may be holding us back, possibly as far as like maybe like a point of view, or maybe there's like a person or something along those lines. But I feel like that there's this energy of wanting to move forward, or I think I'm going to get a little bit more on this Death card, Cancer, but I feel like it's something like there's something like a wanting to move forward, but I feel like it's, in order to do that, Cancer, we're going to have to do some, there's some introspective work that's going to need to be done here, but let's get a little bit more on that. All right, let's see what we got here, Cancer. Interesting. Okay, Two of Moons, Eight of Swords, and interesting, Queen of Moons in reverse here. Yeah, something feels, you know, Cancer, if there's something that has been going down here, that I don't know if it's like a disagreement, or maybe there's something where we're not feeling like maybe we're feeling kind of weird about a situation or something along those lines. But I feel like, Cancer, in order for us to, if we feel like maybe we've been kind of caught in like a cycle, or maybe that we been feeling kind of stuck, or, you know, anything along along those lines, Cancer, I feel like the Queen of Moons kind of popping up here. it's saying, you know, take this time to figure out what's going on. Pause for a minute. Take time to reflect, you know, what kind of situation that you're in right now. You know, what's keeping you from moving on, from getting to that, wherever this next level that you're trying to get to, Cancer. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, this is kind of a little interesting little energy pocket that was coming out there. But just, you know, if we find ourselves in some kind of disagreement or some kind of inharmonious situation, Cancer, I feel like this energy is saying, you know, just take the moment and just kind of sit with that for a second. You know, find that balance in that. Okay. All right. Let's get some advice from Mercury. All right, Cancer. Interesting. Okay, we got the Six of Moons here, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And so with the Six of Moons, Cancer, you know, I kind of feel like when I was talking about this, if we're having some kind of like inharmonious thing or something along those lines, the Six of Moons can be a card of nostalgia, or being kind of caught up in the past possibly. And so if we're dealing with some type of past thing that you've noticed maybe kind of holding us back from getting on to that next point, keeping, you know, from raising your vibration and, you know, getting that next level up and getting to that next chapter of your life, you know, I really think that just take a moment and just kind of evaluate this, you know, kind of maybe weigh the pros and cons of this situation, because this is interesting here, Cancer. You know, I feel like this is very kind of like Mars and Cancer here, where we want to take action, but it's just like it's the emotions are, we're not sure where if our actions are and our emotions are quite lining up here. So if we're finding there's that kind of turmoil that's going down, you know, take a moment. Maybe just with the Six of Moons as well, you know, maybe this is something where maybe sharing these feelings with someone, you know, maybe talking with a close friend, maybe a close family member, you know, someone who you can maybe work this thing out here. If this is something, because maybe this is something you've been maybe kind of secluded for a while, and you have been kind of working this out possibly, but we're still maybe haven't quite found the, you know, there's just like we're maybe teetering, maybe, you know, maybe share this stuff, Cancer, you know, see if maybe someone can provide a fresh perspective for you, you know, maybe they'll see a path, or think of something that little extra, that little nugget that'll help you just like shift all of this, you know, this cyclical energy, Cancer. More. So just something to think about. Let's get some more on this. Cancer, see what else we got here. Interesting. Okay, we got the four. I love it. What a great finisher here, Cancer. We're going to switch back over, because you got the Four of Swords here, and this is one of Libra's cards. This is Jupiter in Libra, and Cancer. This is a card of, you know, if we've been on one side, if we've been kind of working really hard, you know, kind of been feeling kind of like almost to this place of like being burnt out. You know, the Four of Wands is just taking those moments, Cancer, and just resting your mind and just allowing yourself to adjust and to get your energies back balanced again. But, you know, I feel like for some others, if we're in some sort of like, again, some sort of like, I don't want to say a weird situation, but something that along the lines of, that's just throwing you out of balance, Cancer, then I feel like figure out what's going on with that, and then see if we can make some peace with it. See if we can help this, you know, kind of move on to this, to the next chapter, Cancer, you know, because we're the Chariot. We gotta keep it moving, keep it growing. So I think I'll leave that there, Cancer. I hope that made sense. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Cancer, if you know someone who might be going through a situation like this, because this is I just feel like in general, it's just really nice to just take some time for you every now and again, just to disconnect for a second and be with you and kind of ask yourself, just like, how am I doing? Where are my energies at? You know, it's been a week, you know, whatever that's looking like, Cancer. So, and then if you haven't already, subscribe and then hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then social media, working on the other stuff. Promise that's going to be like my next lunar cycle thing. I figure I got some other things that I'm working on, but social media is it's on that list and it's moving up, Cancer. I promise. But I do have a group that I started on this app called Insight Timer, and it's a meditation app. Might be good for your little cabin getaway there, Cancer. But it's an app where they have meditations, binaural beats, all types of cool stuff there. But I made a group called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. And it's just a little space where I put positive affirmations in there daily. So you got a little bits of nuggets of positivity for you there, Cancer, if you ever need a pick-me-up or anything like that. But, you know, while you're becoming a wise sage as well, you know, maybe if you think of any sort of affirmations or enlightening messages or happen to come across any, drop them in the group. And, you know, as it grows, I want to start like scheduling different meditation times, you know, for us just all to get together and just kind of bond as a soul tribe. So yeah, check that out, Cancer. Again, the app is Insight Timer, and it's on, the group is called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. And then lastly, check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Mercury, you know, check your chart, Cancer. And then check out my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there, and then every time the sun changes, I do a monthly video. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Hi, Priestess. Look at you, so intuitive. Taking this time, Cancer. And then let's get your oracle card here. Nice. All right, and we got the Adorned card here. And with the Adorned card, Cancer, this one really I feel like is talking to if you've been kind of going and just like it's been just nonstop. You know, if we've been feeling tired, if we've been feeling sore, if we've been feeling anything, you know, where we need to recharge our batteries, Cancer, don't feel like that you have to put on a mask, you know, where you can, I feel like it's okay to say like, hey, I think I'm gonna take some PTO for this, because when you do that, Cancer, work with this Virgo energy, taking care of your health, then that gets you to where you're performing at your best, you know, in everything that you're doing. But it's a balance, Cancer. You know, we got to make sure that we're checking in with ourselves, and that keeps us, Cancer, when we're finding that balance. That strengthens our intuition, and it gets us to. It just helps us guide us through this journey so much better. And I really feel that. Just really making sure with the High Priestess being here, just to listen to those signs, you know, if the body's just like, hey, you know, like I'm exhausted, or, you know, like, or, you know, I'm feeling tired, or, you know, I'm feeling this, or whatever we're feeling, Cancer, with the moon, pay attention to that, get eyes on that, Cancer, okay? So I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer, and you see the moon's keeping eyes on you, and not in a weird way, Cancer. She wants you to make sure that she's watching out for you. Like, hey, I see you working hard, I see you hustling, but let's nurture as well. So, you know, take a moment or two, keep eyes on the moon. If you're in an area where you can see that, go out there and do some moon gazing, Cancer. Maybe do some stargazing. Treat yourself something nice. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow.